Hello students, welcome back to this YouTube channel. Today we'll be continuing with our next part of the chapter number 3, Business Services Part 2. As we go to recap, let us start with the recap. Till now we have studied about the bank, the meaning of the bank, where did the word bank come from, Italian word banco. First bank was started in 1407 Geneva. Then we studied about the functions, two functions, main functions and subsidiary functions. There are main four functions: to accept and collect deposits, to lend money through overdraft and cash credit, and to invest money and to do interbanking transaction. Then we studied about the different 8 subsidiary functions of bank, like to issue traveler's check, to issue letter of credit, to take care of financial transaction, to take care of foreign exchange, draft services and all. Then we studied the major 4 types of bank account, that are saving account, current account, recurring account and fixed deposit account. And then we have studied about the 3 major services, that is to issue draft, that is demand draft, banker's check or pay order, and the most important of the one is real time gross settlement, that is RTGS. In today's video, we'll be covering the remaining 4 major services provided by bank. Those are National Electronic Fund Transfer (NEFT), bank overdraft, cash credit and loan. Starting with National Electronic Fund Transfer (NEFT). Now what is NEFT? NEFT is also a medium of exchange. NEFT also a medium of transfer or exchange. How it works and how it is different from RTGS? So same like RTGS, in NEFT also a fund is transferred from one bank who is a member of NEFT to the another bank who is a member of NEFT. Okay, NEFT is also a type of payment just like RTGS. It is also provided through online services. Now the thing is, in NEFT the amount which is transferred is have a limit, upper limit of maximum rupees 2 lakh. Maximum amount of rupees 2 lakh is transferred through NEFT. The amount more than 2 lakh will be transferred through RTGS platform. The most important thing is no minimum limit. So you can transfer from rupee 1 to rupee 2 lakh. No minimum limit is there on transactions on NEFT. And another advantage, for the amount less than 50,000, for the amount less than 50,000, the NEFT platform can be also used through the medium of cash. That means you can go to your bank and give amount like 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, any amount up to 49,999 to the bank in cash, and it can be transferred to the beneficiary account. And all the amount above 50,000 will be transferred through online platform or through check system only. Okay. In NEFT also IFSC code is mandatory. In NEFT also IFSC code is mandatory. Okay. Now talking about the major thing, why NEFT is different from RTGS. Apart from the minimum and maximum balance, why NEFT is different from RTGS? In RTGS, payment is transferred on immediate basis, real time. Payment is transferred on real time, but in which payment in NEFT payment is settled through DNS. Payment is settled through DNS. DNS means different net settlement. Different net settlement. Now what is different net settlement? Let us see this. This is clear. NEFT is a medium of transfer, maximum of 2 lakh, minimum no limit. Amount less than 50,000 can be remitted or transferred in cash. IFSC is also mandatory. So only those banks who are having IFSC number and member of NEFT will be able to receive and transfer the fund. Now talking about NEFT, how NEFT works and what is DNS. So talking about DNS, different net settlement. Okay. Now one thing that we need to take care about here is, in RTGS money is transferred real time. They don't have to wait for any of the clubbing. But in NEFT, amount is sent batch wise. Amount is sent batch wise. For example, a bank is having a working hour of 9 to 5. So 9 to 5 in total 9 hours. So the working hours, that is 9 to 4, will be divided into batch of 1 hour each. So first batch will be of 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, so on. Like this way, an hourly batch are settled up for NEFT transfer. Now what happens? Every bank is having numbers of customers. Every bank is having numbers of customers, and numbers of customers use numerous or humongous number of customers use NEFT services on daily basis. So what they do, in different net settlements, suppose I am having an account in SBI, I want to transfer funds to Yes Bank. So what they will do, they will wait for an hour. Suppose I have deposited the request at 9:10. So I will be in the batch of 9:10, 9 to 10. So from first batch, they will wait till 10 o'clock. They will wait till 10 o'clock, and at 10 they will total up the amount to be transferred to the Yes Bank. They will total up the amount to be transferred to the Yes Bank. For example, in first hour, the amount to be transferred to Yes Bank is 25 lakh rupees. The amount to be transferred to Yes Bank is 25 lakh rupees. In the same manner, Yes Bank will calculate the amount to be transferred to SBI. So, if Yes Bank has to transfer to SBI 20 lakh, Yes Bank has request of NEFT to SBI, any branch of SBI, rupees 20 lakh. So, at 10 o'clock, what they will do? They will meet through a platform designed by RBI, and at 10 o'clock they will decide that SBI has to pay 20 lakh to Yes Bank. Yes Bank has to pay 20 lakhs to SBI has to pay 25 lakhs to Yes Bank. Yes Bank has to pay 20 lakhs to RBI. So what they will do, at 10 o'clock, SBI will pay through DNS. Now we will understanding DNS. Different net settlement. Different net settlement. So we will find out the net difference between this. Net difference is 25 lakhs to pay, 20 lakhs to receive. That means 5 lakhs to pay. So 25 lakhs minus 20 lakhs, 5 lakhs SBI will pay to Yes Bank. SBI will pay to Yes Bank. So what will be happening? Yes Bank will having 20 lakh request plus 5 lakhs. So that those 25 lakhs will be transferred or remitted to the account number given by SBI. And SBI, out of this 25 lakhs, 5 lakhs give to Yes Bank, and remaining 20 lakhs will be transferred to the account number given by Yes Bank. So this is how the whole NEFT process works. And the last important thing about NEFT is the amount remitted through NEFT can reach the customer in the range of between 2 hours to 48 hours. Generally, it reaches between 2 to 3 hours, but on a safer side, banking technology or banks need a grace time, so they provide a time limit of 2 hours to 48 hours. Sometimes it becomes that it reaches the beneficiary account before 2 hours also, but this is the safe time that bank says that between 2 hours to 48 hours, your amount will be transferred or remitted. Clear? So this was the difference between RTGS. RTGS, the amount is transferred on real-time basis. They don't wait for batches. In NEFT, we have to wait for batch-wise transfer. And in NEFT, no settlement is done, no clubbing of income is done. In NEFT, we club out the income, then find out the different net settlement, and then transfer the amount. So these were the two major differences. Another minor differences are maximum limit, no limit, maximum 2 lakh, minimum 2 lakh, minimum no limit 1 rupee. Okay, so this is the two major fund transfer system prevailing in the country right now. Okay, now talking about next one, that is bank overdraft. What is bank overdraft? As we have studied already in the previous videos, that bank overdraft is a facility provided to only current account holders by a bank depending on their transactions that they do with the bank. And the major facility of bank overdraft is over. The word over means above the limit and draft means from the savings. So the major facility of bank overdraft is for the account holders, those who are prevailing the facilities of bank overdraft are able to withdraw more amount available in their are able to withdraw more amount than the available balance in their account. For example, if I am having a facility of overdraft and in my current account there is rupees 10,000 only. So if I want, I can withdraw 15,000 only. This depends on the overdraft facility and limit provided to me through my bank account. Okay. Now, how this works, let us see. The calculation formula and the formula for the limit of overdraft purely depends on the bank. It purely depends on the bank. There is no scientific formula that this amount to be provided as overdraft, this limit to be provided. The bank, the managers have pure right after checking the credit worthiness to give the overdraft facility or not to give. So, credit limit, we name it as credit limit is decided by bank. No scientific formula is there. If I am running my business, I am doing my transaction well enough, my account is run well, my account is well managed, no bouncing of checks, no penalties, no failures on of minimum balance of such kind of like this, no claims on my accounts is there, then there are chances that bank will provide me a higher limit of overdraft facilities, Okay. Now overdraft is also a type of loan. So bank charges interest on it. Okay. Now how actually overdraft works, let us see. For an example, in my account I have rupees 10,000 available. In my account I have rupees 10,000 available, and due to my credit worthiness or due to my goodwill, the bank has allowed me an overdraft facility of 20,000. So a party drew a check of rupees 15,000. So there is a withdrawal of 15,000. Okay. So for the 15,000, 10,000 will be from my account, and for 5,000 there is overdraft. And after 7 days, I go to the bank. Suppose this was on 1st January. So on 10th January, I go to the bank and deposited 20,000 in my current account. So out of that 20,000, 15,000 will be my account, and 5,000 will be go to the overdraft account, and the overdraft account will be settled. Plus I will have to pay interest for 10 days. Interest for 10 days on the amount of 5,000 decided by the on the rate of interest decided by the bank. So this is how the whole process of overdraft works. Clear? For example, the only benefit is that if the overdraft limit is 20,000 and I have withdrawn only 5,000, so I have to pay interest only on the amount used, that is 5,000. For the remaining 50,000, I do not need to pay the interest. Clear? And the next one is cash credit. Next one is cash credit. Now, the difference between overdraft and cash credit is somewhat similar to the difference between demand draft and pay order. The difference between demand draft and pay order was demand draft is for outside the city, pay order is for the same city or within the city. So the difference between overdraft and cash credit is somewhat similar. Cash credit is also a feature same like overdraft, but the only difference is in overdraft we do not have any time limit fixed to it. For example, I have withdrawn on 1st January, I deposited back on the 10th of January. But for in cash credit we have a fixed tenure. We have a fixed tenure. That means cash credit is available for 15 days, 20 days, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. We have a tenure fixed time attached to it. Rather, all the features of bank overdraft and cash credit is similar. All the features of bank overdraft and cash credit is similar. Clear? Another feature of cash credit, that generally for overdraft, the overdraft is provided us on the basis of goodwill and credit worthiness. But for cash credit, we need to provide security. We need to provide security known as collateral. Collateral means we need to put something on hypothecation. Hypothecation means some asset or some property of ours will be under the bank's guidance, under the bank's supervision, and on the behalf of that property, that asset, bank will provide us cash credit. For example, we want a cash credit for business. So either goods, either any vehicle, either any property will be kept as a security to the bank, and then bank will provide us the cash credit. Clear? And the last function that we have already studied properly is loan. The last function is loan. Now what is loan? Loan over here means to lend money. Loan here means to lend money. Now banks provide loans of various types, such as education loan, housing loan, auto loan, that is vehicle loan, or we can say personal loan, gold loan, and so on. So these are the number of loans provided by banks to a customer. And the only thing that we need to know that we haven't covered in the previous topic, that loan is been for every kind of loan, banks needs a security, a collateral, and some of the loan, the types of loan can be for 3 types. First is mortgage, then pledge, and then hypothecation. This will be somewhat difficult for you to understand, and it is not right now in your course, but for a general common sense, let us understand. First is mortgage. Mortgage means, if we say if we translate mortgage in Gujarati, the meaning is girve, giro mukiye. We said giro mukiye. So that is mortgage. So loan against the house, named as housing loan, will be under the mortgage scheme. Under the mortgage scheme. So it is for fixed assets. All those assets which are not movable. Which are not movable, the loan assigned for against them will be under mortgage scheme. Under mortgage scheme. Then comes the pledge. In pledge, it is for gold loan. It is for gold loan. Ownership remains with us, but the transfer is done to the bank. In this, ownership with us, but transferred to bank. Gold is on our loan. The gold belongs to us, but it is kept with the bank. So transfer of possession, we can say transfer to bank. Possession is with bank, but ownership remains with us. And the last one is hypothecation. Hypothecation is, the best example of hypothecation is education, auto loan, vehicle loan, personal loan. In this, ownership is with us as well as possession is also with us. And for this kind of loan, rate of interest is higher. Ownership and possession both remains with the customer, both remains with the us. For example, auto loan, vehicle loan, car loan. Car is on our loan, car is on our name, so the ownership remains with us. We are using the car, so the possession also remains with us. So this is the types of loan schemes: mortgage, pledge and hypothecation. Now, hope you guys have understood this topic. It was an important topic from the point of view of your chapter number 3. Now, time for today's quiz. Today, as we covered the last 4 topics, I will be asking questions from this. First question: what is the different type of loan scheme? We have discussed about the 3 loan schemes, 3 schemes under which loan are sanctioned. What are those 3 schemes? Next question: what is the minimum and maximum amount that can be transferred through NEFT? Minimum and maximum amount that can be transferred through NEFT. And third question: what is the full form of DNS? What is the full form of DNS? We'll be coming with the next part of this video. In this next part, we'll be covering about e-banking and mobile banking, ATM services and all. Till then, stay home, stay safe, happy learning.